What's up, knifetube? Today I want to have a talk with you guys and girls about something that is not talked about very much in the knife world, and personally I find it a huge problem. Um, and that would be your influencers, be it small or large influencers. Reviewing knives without using them. Basically, knife hits the table, they open it up, click it a few times, and there's your review. You can't review something without using it. You can't. It's not possible, and it's something that has become so commonplace that people don't even bat an eye at it. They open the box and they review the knife in the same video. And at 10 years ago, that would have never worked. But in today's world, that is the process. And to get big, it's all about moving as many knives as you can across your table and reviewing each one of those knives to be able to constantly post new content on stuff that's just hitting the market. That's why it's gobs and gobs of $50, $70 Chinese knives. And again, they're reviewing it at the same time they're opening the box. I don't understand how people watch that. And I get it, people watch these reviewers, be it small reviewers or huge reviewers, it doesn't matter. They watch these reviewers because they love them. And that's totally fine. I have reviewers that I watch and I really enjoy. Yet they do the same thing. There's only a few channels, and they're smaller channels, who actually review a knife that they've really had some use with, and give you an actual review. The vast majority do not. They give you a first impressions, and they call it a review. And where that really presents a problem, and I don't want to come off as being an asshole here, but where that really presents a problem is when people buy the knives who are users. They're buying this knife with their money. These knives are not given to them. They're putting it in their pocket, and they're using it at work. They're using it out around the house. They're using it on the farm. They're using it on their homestead. The point is, they're using these knives. This knife is being bought as a tool, not a fidget spinner. And they bought that knife because so-and-so did a review as they opened the box and told them how fantastic it is. Yet they don't know if it's fantastic because they didn't use it. Oh, it's sharp. It cut a couple pieces of paper. Yeah, it's a great knife. But this person who went out and spent their money, and they may not be in a situation to where they can just go buy another knife. A lot of us, we have 10, 15, 20, 50 knives a month coming in. 5 knives a week is nothing for a lot of us. However, there's also an even larger amount of the group who may only buy 1 or 2 knives a year. And those knives are bought as a tool, and that tool has to perform for this person. They use it to make part of their living is made with this tool in their hand. Yet the person that told them how great it was and to go buy it didn't use it. And it may be, when you look at it, it may look great. That's skin deep. Is it actually a good performing knife? And see here, I have one of those right now. And this is not the first time, and I'm not saying I bought this because of a reviewer. I bought it because I liked the design. I bought, it's a cool knife, but there's a big problem with it. And it's where I say beauty is skin deep when it comes to this. And on paper, this knife is a civivi Appalachian Drifter, or Appalachian Drifter. It's a cool little knife for what? I think it's about $70. Got a nice action, typical civivi quality, looks pretty cool, nice and thin geometry, and in a decent steel for the money. $70 or so. They may have been 80, something like that, $70, $80. Nitro V, and everybody will parade on civivi Nitro V. It's done so well. And I've had some knives in it that have been done pretty decently. I don't know if I would say so well that, oh, it's incredible, but they've done decently. But I've also had quite a few knives from them in Nitro V that's left a whole lot to be desired. This is a prime example. Say I'm tight on cash. I got $80. I'm looking around on YouTube. I need a nice slicey knife that's gonna perform really well for me for out on the farm. Opening up cutting belling wire, or belling twine, plastics, sheeting, just really using the knife. Nothing hard, but a lot of cutting. So I need nice thin geometry so it passes through material easily. I need decent edge retention because I need it to get me through a day. I need decent toughness because I'm going to actually be using the knife. And I'm going by, and now just say I had that $70, $80. I watch a YouTube review of, in this case, we'll just say one of your larger reviewers, somebody who you watch and you like them and you want to believe everything they say, and you go buy this, or I went and bought this, we'll just say it's me. So I went and bought this knife because I needed a knife that suited this job. I watched my favorite reviewer. They told me how great this knife is. Now keep in mind, they just opened it, flicked it a few times, told me how great it was. Okay. So I spend my $80. Now I'm somebody who very much, and this, we'll just stick with this. I live paycheck to paycheck. I may be able to buy one, maybe two knives a year, and these knives have to work for me. I am using these as part of how I make a living. No different than a socket set. This is a tool. Now I get home, start using this knife, and it performs okay. Edge retention is decent. It's got nice thin geometry, so it slices good. Fits the hand nicely. And then I kind of actually start looking at the knife because, and I'm not twisting. I'm not putting any unnecessary loads on this blade. And I look, and my knife isn't centered anymore. Now keep in mind, this is not me saying this literal, that this happened. This is an example. I look at my knife, it's not centered anymore. Well, how is that? It was centered earlier. Checking. My blade's bent. Well, how is that? I thought civivi did really good Nitro V. Everybody says, all the reviewers say how great the Nitro V is. It's done so well. Nitro V is a very good steel, by the way. Production Nitro V can leave a lot on the table. these reviewers. They say how great it is. Well, why is my blade bent? And I don't mean bent just at the tip, and it's not like I was prying or anything. I was simply cutting. Now I'm going to show you why you can't listen when people have financial stake in something. You have to use your brain. When there's money to be made, and you see, hey, this person just opened this box and they're reviewing it and telling me how great it is. Well, how can they know? They haven't used it. You have to use your brain. You have to think, because just like this knife is helping you do your job. Well, and your job is how you put food on the table. Well, their job is making you click those links. That is their job. That's how they put food on the table. As soon as you start to think about it that way, now you start to look at it a little differently. Well, he told me how great this knife was, but I'm very disappointed. Well, guess what? He made me make that click. So he's putting food on his table. But I need this knife to do a job for me that I can't do now. So how am I going to put food on my table? Do you understand what I'm saying? Now I'm going to flip the camera around here, and I'm going to show you why you can't, when it comes, especially to production knives, and I hate to say this, but more so to China knives, you just can't trust the heat treat quality. I don't care who it is. Riot is probably the only one that I would say that actually does pretty good heat treats consistently. I've got some, they're 20 CV. You'll hear reviewers say how great it is. It's not very good. I'm sorry, but it's not. Civivi, they do pretty decent D2 and their sink cut stuff. But I'm sorry, their 14C, not that well done. And you really can't, 14C is incredibly easy to heat treat, but it's not that well done. It's okay. Their Nitro V, not that well done. And while this knife has very thin geometry, it's still got, reasonable stock thickness. That tip is fine, but what I'm going to show you, well, let me turn the camera around. Hold on just a second. Okay, I'm back. Look at this knife. Centered, right? You're going to have to take my word for it, because I'm not going to be able to show you really, but the blade's straight right now, right? Watch this. Just so you see, I'm not going to be doing anything. I'm going to apply very little pressure. Watch this. Oh, okay, when I say I applied very little pressure, I mean it. Okay, now that's not much, a few pounds. Oh, it's off center. It's bent, clearly. Now I'm going to apply a little bit more. Still, well, there's no reason that this knife should not be able to take that. That's enough. I can actually see the bend. Now look at it. Come on. Come on. There is no reason that this steel should bend and hold that shape. Absolutely no reason. I'm not applying much pressure. Gotta get, where the hell are the lenses at? There you go. See? Not centered anymore, it's bent. Now watch this. I'm gonna apply like this and push here. And remember, I'm not putting a lot. Not that much at all. And even if, look at that, can you, that's terrible. Look at that. Come on. Come on. What? Okay. This isn't the first time. Look at that. Absolute BS is what that is. This steel is way too soft. Look at, I mean, that's insane. Oh, I can bend it right back. Well, that's a little better. A little better. But I mean, you can literally see. Come on, man. That's unacceptable. That's totally unacceptable. Almost. And we're back to almost centered. This isn't the first time. This is in no way, shape, or form the only civivi and 14C I've had problems with. Multiple models. Nitro B I've had problems with. The only steel I've had from them that's been reliably well done is D2. And their 9CR is pretty good too. Nitro B and 14C, the golden child of budget steels, that all the reviewers had everybody under the sun saying how 14C and Nitro V are their favorite blades, budget blade steels. Well, the reviewers are I mean, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but again, the reviewers aren't using these knives. And they're not paying for them. It's easy to say something's great after you just opened the box when you didn't pay a cent for it, and the company sent you 20 more behind that one you just opened. It's very easy to say, yeah, it's great. And even you might believe it's great. I'm not saying that they're necessarily doing it maliciously. I'm saying that they're not using it so they don't know. That is not, I mean, yeah, it's thin blade stock, but it's not even close to thin enough for that. And it shouldn't be that malleable anyways. Like, I would expect 52 HRC 1050 carbon to bend like that. Not a 60, supposedly 60 Rockwell stainless. Like, it's bullshit. And it's not the first. It won't be the last. I guarantee you that some of you have Nitro V and 14C from civivi that's exactly the same. In fact, I'd be willing to bet more than half of you. So, we need to start listening to people that use the knives and not putting up with reviews of somebody just opening a box, flicking it, cutting some paper. Ooh, yeah, it's pretty good action. Oh, it's sharp. It's a great knife. Go buy it. Use my links. That needs to change. It is running the knife community. The people who don't use and buy just to collect or buy just specifically for pocket jewelry and for fidgeting, well, you know, they're not going to know any better. It doesn't matter to them anyways. But to the very large crowd who depends on a knife to perform day in and day out, those people, you need to, the reviewers need to be reviewers. If they're going to call themselves a reviewer,
They need to be a reviewer, not an overviewer. Oh, I'm going to open the box and I'm going to give you a quick overview of the knife, and then I'm going to tell you how great it is, and click my links. If they want to, if that's how they present it, then that's how they present it. But it needs to stop with the calling reviews when they're not. If you haven't used the knife, if you haven't sharpened that knife, it can't be a review. If you don't have at least a week at the absolute minimum, and I mean actually using it a lot, at least a week. Realistically, to be a true review, a month. But a week at the absolute minimum. I understand. People, the bigger YouTubers, they get so much stuff in that there's no way they could donate or give each knife a month. But a week at minimum. If they're going to call it a review, it should be used every day for a minimum a week. And I don't mean only to cut some tape. And before that review's done, that knife needs to be on the stones, because sharpening will tell you a lot. So, this is my rant. Something needs to be done about it. It's ridiculous. A lot of people are spending their money on stuff that doesn't benefit them. It doesn't do what they're buying it for, and they're dependent on these influencers to steer them to what to buy, and it's actually sad. These people use these products, they use this knife, they use it as a tool, they use it as part of how they make a living, and then it fails. It's not a tool that they can go out and use to help them make a living. But the YouTuber that just sold it to them made money off that link click. One eats, but the other doesn't, and that's bullshit.